Yesterday I shot a roll of 35mm ADOX Scala. So they claim it is a kind of a full successor of Agfa Scala, and it's kind of the same emulsion whatsoever. So this is why I picked that film to get the feeling how the Agfa Scala will behave eventually. And then from the other channel on the YouTube, I found out that there is a guy here in Germany, Mr. Klaus Wehner, that actually mixes chemicals needed for black and white reversal process, and he sells them. I am not sure if he sends the chemicals across the border, but since I'm here in Germany, I just wrote him an email and I bought a kit. And he actually claims that with that kit you can develop up to 8 35mm films, but only if you have a special tank that will allow you to use as little as 125 milliliter of the solution for one film. And my tanks don't allow that, so eventually I ended up using my Patterson tank, and I mixed 250 milliliter of solution, which is kind of let's say the standard amount of chemicals for one film. So I've been using the only 35mm camera I have, which is my trusty Zenith. And the problem with that camera that the light meter is not that accurate. So first of all, it's not TTL. Second of all, it's decoupled from the camera. So you have to do your light metering. Then you should transfer your basically measurements to your camera and then make the shot. And which is okay when you do a negative film, but sometimes with the slide film, especially here in Germany, like weather changes so quickly, and when just clouds like roll in and then your exposure is off by like 1.5 stop, and then you're done basically with the slide film. And please don't be fooled by the black and whiteness of the film. It is still a slide film, so exposure is extremely important to be spot on. So anyways, long story short, I developed this roll of film. It is kind of longish process, but it's definitely not complicated process, and I would say it's even easier than E6 process. Mr. Klaus Wehner claims that you should be really careful with the temperature, and the temperature should be 22 degrees of Celsius. But I didn't even measure my temperature, so I kind of know that under my faucet there is a like cold water is around 20 degrees of Celsius, so I wasn't that off, let's say. But if you, let's say, more accurate person than me, then definitely measure the temperature. So yeah, this is like a foreword, and then let's get to the process. So this is what I got in the post package with the developer. So there is some kind of advertisement material, and then there is a instruction in English how to mix the solution, how to develop, and there's you can see the list of recommended films and like not so recommended films, and development times for each of them, and the how the process goes, let's say. Then we have 2 bottles of first developer, which then goes as a second developer. Then the clear bath and bleach bath. To mix the solution I have like a random jars, and I'm gonna do a developer, clear bath and bleach basically. For that I have also this measurement cup from my other, let's say, kit. Okay. And this solution should be enough to prepare 1 liter. and that solution was actually a little bit leaky, which I didn't really like. So now this is the hardest part. I have to measure. So for ADOX Scala, exposed as 200, which was recommended, I should develop for 22 minutes. Well, let's start. And it's gonna be continuous agitation. Okay, so we are approaching the end of the first step. So now I'm gonna dump the developer back into the jar for the later use and stop the process with the first wash. As a second step goes bleach for 5 minutes. Again, I'm gonna be agitating continuously. Okay, let me dump the bleach. And we're not gonna need bleach anymore, but we need to recycle it properly. Not recycle, but dispose. So there are rules how to dispose bleaches, at least in Germany. If in your country you can just run it down the drain, then well, do so. Next goes clear bath for 3 minutes. So now we are going to dump clear bath and then wash with water for 3 more minutes. So now is the most interesting part, which is second exposure. And one should use the white bowl, but I don't have a clear white bowl, so I hope that goose won't let me down today. So I will just submerge. Oh, you actually can see slides half developed for 2 minutes, so each side. And I am doing here this using my basically light setup. And this light setup I use to basically lead the whole scene, and it's pretty darn good setup. And actually you need a white bowl so it reflects light back to film. Some people use flash. Flash is, I believe, more effective, but I don't have any flash well except on my camera, but I'm filming with this camera. Now I should return this film back to the tank and develop it for 6 more minutes with the developer that I stashed basically. And again, continuous agitation. But lucky me, not 22 minutes. So my wash is done, and before I add ADOFlow, I decided that I show you like the interim result because it's really interesting. So, ooh, slides. I messed up a lot of shots because I wanted to try my digital camera to use it as a digital meter to like pre-visualize the scene, but then weather was so terrible. It was rainy and it was cloudy, and then I ended up shooting the last frames at home when I couldn't use any light meter due to subject. So my daughter, she won't be sitting quietly on one place, so I had to improvise, and I basically ended up shooting 1/30th of a second and pretty much on f2 or whatever. So after you've seen the results, I think that would be fair to name two competitors. So let's say there is a Rolleish black and white kit for reversal process, which costs 75 euros, and they say that you can develop up to 20 rolls with it. And then there is also a FOMA reversal kit that claims that you can develop up to 8 rolls of film, and it costs around 32 euros. So basically each roll of film with both of the solutions would cost like around 3.5 to 4 euros in development. Of course, if you use, let's say, the kit from Mr. Wehner, then it's gonna be the cheapest. But then you need a special tank that will allow you to use as little as 125 milliliters of a solution for one film. Otherwise, it's gonna be cost around 5 euros. So if you like me, if you use 250 millimeters for one film, then it's kind of you can develop only up to 8 films. And I would really like to maybe try a Rolei kit, but it costs 75 euros, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna be doing 20 rolls of black and white slides, because it's really special and the results are really interesting yet special. So this is something that you wouldn't do on a daily basis. So, and of course I need a better camera if I want to do this. I need a better light meter, and I need to meter my basically exposures much better and much more accurate. But anyways, those are commercially available solutions, and if you able to buy them and you're keen to try black and white slides at home, please let me know what results were. I really interesting, and I still have a project in mind with black and white slides. So basically I want to shoot a larger format, maybe medium format, maybe large format portraits of my family, so my wife, my daughter and myself, and then I want to put them like slides in illuminated picture frames or illuminated box. So that's basically the project, and that was actually a pre-phase and a test run. So if I am able to develop that myself without sending it to anyone. But anyways, it is kind of a longish outro already, so I hope you like the video. I hope you find it any useful at all or interesting. And please let me know down below in the comment section what do you think about black and white slides in general. To me they look really good, and I really like this this shallow dynamic range and the contrast it yields, and I really like the sharpness of images and pretty much grainless of images, and I would definitely shoot more. I have 5 rolls of ADOX Scala medium format, so I have something to shoot. That's it basically for today, and thanks for watching, and I see you next time.